another game review with Dan. And before we start the new one, I wanted to mention that we didn't realize that the video was not capturing the mouse cursor last time. And this time we were trying to figure out how to make that happen, but we didn't find it. So we will be just using like actual clicking or the coordinates. So that's it. And we will review another game of Dan today. And
Yes.
I also wanted to mention like two things.
Okay.
What are your ratings in different Go servers?
I'm actually I'm 3Q on PandaNet, and then on OGS a little weaker than that, like 4, 5, 6. It kind of goes up and down.
Yes.
That's all I play actively.
Okay. Yes. And you mentioned that you watch Wage TV. Where do you watch it?
I found a collection of videos that someone had uploaded on YouTube. I've been trying to subscribe to the actual Weiqi TV, but they only take Chinese payment methods, so I'm still working on that issue.
I see. And we should probably mention that you can understand Chinese because you speak Chinese.
Yeah, it helps to understand the Go terminology.
Right.
Although I think if you're a strong enough player, you could probably still get something out of the videos because it's mainly about exploring different variations that happen.
Yeah, and maybe they can also learn some Chinese while watching it.
And I can give you the link also to the series I mentioned that covers the different opening fusekis.
Okay, we can add that links to the previous video.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start today's game. What game is this?
Okay, so this is very different from last time. This is a handicap game that I played against your father.
Oh, my father.
Yes.
Okay.
Who teaches Go to children and is a very strong amateur player himself. And I think he's especially good at handicap games. He knows all these tricks to gain an advantage.
Yeah. Is that your feeling?
Yes, yeah. It's very intimidating to play against him.
But didn't you start playing with him with 9 handicap stones in the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, that's when I was much weaker as a Go player. And as I've improved, we've taken down the number of handicap stones.
Yeah, you must be so proud. You have only 3 now.
Yeah, although, I don't know. You'll see I mishandle a lot of things.
Okay, then let's look
Okay.
at the game.
Okay.
Okay. So, you started with a large...
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm experimenting with different things here. The intention is not to get pincered.
So, why were you afraid of being pincered?
Mainly because I've been playing many games with your dad, and in the past, I tend to get a bad result due to Joseki things that go on. And I don't think it's necessarily bad, right? I mean, I probably wouldn't play that way in an even game, but again, like a lot of moves here, I'm playing differently because it's a handicap game.
Right, you learned like some things are better in handicap games because they are safer.
Generally, yeah.
Okay, is there any particular pincer that you're afraid of? Maybe we can look at one simple
Oh
variation.
gosh. Really, any of them. But
Oh, any?
maybe something like the either 2-space high or 2-space low.
Oh, this one. Yeah, that's a very common pincer. And there is very simple Joseki maybe you can learn or
Okay.
memorize. So at this pincer, you respond with the diagonal move. And usually white would play here, and then black plays here, and white plays here. And
Okay.
at this point, black can tenuki. This is
Okay.
the end of Joseki.
Yes. Yeah, I recognize the shape of those 3 stones, and the 3 black stones in the top left there have that nice shape.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but not that this is any, this is wrong.
Right.
Uh-oh, why is it not moving?
Oh, it's just a little slow. It's okay.
Okay.
Be patient.
So, yeah. So, this is nothing wrong. I was just curious.
Okay.
So, let's keep going. And then you played here.
Yeah.
Why not this one?
Why not that one?
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I've seen. I play Crazy Stone a lot, And Crazy Stone loves this like approach and then go back to the star point. And it feels strong to me when I play against it, so that's why I played it.
I see.
Here.
So basically, you learned this from Crazy Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. It just has an invasion later.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But then, like, globally, maybe that's okay.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking because this is handicap, I can afford to give away some points in return for, like, building a big moyo somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. And this one, what do you think about this move?
You sound like you don't like it. You're going to say it's slack and I should have played on the top.
No, it's not slack.
Okay.
But just what do you think about it?
What do I think about it?
Yes.
I mean, looking at this game with my eyes today, I would almost think maybe that doing Sanren-sei on the bottom would be better.
Why?
Because when you do this, if white then splits at k3, that seems worse for black than if black had played the Sanren-sei at k4 and then white came in on the right-hand side.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, and again, like I'm testing out. I think with this game, I'm testing out a sort of not center, but like more moyo attacking oriented strategy. Like I'm not playing like I'd play in an even game. I'm kind of preparing for your dad to do all these little low invasions and things, and I want to be able to attack them and profit.
Okay. So when we think about opening moves, there are certain principles we often talk about. And one of them is that if everything is not, if nothing's urgent,
Yeah.
then you usually want to take wide plays. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the lower side is more open. And then it has like more gap between the two stones.
Right. So if you count the lines, I'm just counting the lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 9 lines on the right-hand side of the board between the star point stone and the enclosure.
Right.
But then in the bottom center of the board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 11 lines between those 2 star point stones on the bottom.
Yes.
So that kind of goes along with my revised thinking that the bottom is bigger than playing on the right.
Right. So I can't tell like if that's true or like how much better it is. But that's like one of the principles we tend to follow. And according to that, the lower side should be better than the right side.
That makes sense. That was also something that I saw in the Weishi TV series that I didn't appreciate as much before, which is the key point of K4, K3 in this kind of formation is like really huge. Like it's not necessarily turning into territory, but it really flips the game. Like now, like if white comes into the bottom, white's going to be able to get a base and make points there.
Yes.
Whereas if black plays on the bottom, white can still play on the bottom too, but white is going to be more in like invading and trying to scrape out life and not making a comfortable group.
Yes. So supposing black does want to do play in the lower side.
Yeah.
At this particular situation, I wouldn't recommend the K line.
Oh,
because when black plays around there, white will probably go into the 3-3 point.
Right.
And then you have this situation where you kind of want to block both sides.
Yeah.
So thinking that, maybe you want to play something like this.
Okay.
So that if white comes into the corner, then it's kind of nice that you can block here.
Okay.
Like this.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
And then you're building up like nice moyo.
That makes sense.
Left to lower.
Yeah. I used to get so frustrated playing online when I had a formation that was kind of like close to this, because it looks like, I'm gonna have a lot of points in the left and bottom and lower left, but then white does an invasion, and it just becomes a handful of points.
Right.
But I think I like your idea of like if you play at G3, white can still come in, but you've given yourself a way to limit how bad the damage is going to be when white inevitably comes in there.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay.
So anyway, we did that, and you kicked. Yes.
On that pincer on N, or I don't know if you call it pincer, the N3.
Yes.
What do you think about N3 versus M3 coming one closer?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Usually, I would believe M3 is better because
Okay.
that has more pressure toward the white group.
Right.
But then, the corner on that lower right corner is
Right.
not as solid
Right.
because you're like thinner. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Right. So let me just see. So at this point, white probably needs to add a stone to this group. Is that right?
Right, I would recommend one space jump.
Like
Yes.
this, right? Okay. This looks sort of pro-ish to me.
Yes.
And then there's online game. So I know a pro would probably not play that, but this is like online. Somebody will just be, okay, I'll pincer you back.
Oh, I see.
Just out of curiosity, how do you handle this?
I don't know. Wait.
Do you try to kill that stone? Do you diagonal, or because if you jump out, he's gonna jump out, and you're gonna have this giant mess now.
I see. So you're concerned about this variation.
Right. It feels like black now. Oh, okay. You want to do that kick, and then okay. It feels like those two black stones are getting very lonely now, and so I'm like, what happened to my threat against that white group? I feel like I'm under threat now.
I see. So first of all, I think this would be playable for
Okay.
black, but as you said, it is going to be somewhat complicated.
Okay. And by the way, online opponent will do that. I know this is a bad move,
I
right?
see,
But I
yes.
just want to see the push and cut happen here.
Right, right.
So, where's it better for white to cut? Which side here? Like, if white is just playing super aggressive and saying,
Yes.
I'm going to kill you.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, that's interestingly strong.
really? Okay.
So this extension is Sente, I
Okay.
think. Wait, let's check. We do
Okay.
this.
Yeah, that's that nice point in that shape there, right? Because white cannot...
Wait.
Wait.
So maybe it wasn't clearly Sente. If white tries to run away, yeah, this is not so simple. Wait.
Okay.
So let's go back and let's say black plays here. Oh, yeah, this is better maybe.
Okay.
Just do this and connect,
Okay.
and then do like this.
Okay. And what if white connects the other way?
Yeah,
White connects...
here.
Yeah.
Then that.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. And then, wait, I'm just going to try a completely annoying sequence here.
Yes.
And then, let's say... Now what?
Then I think we would need to Atari here.
Okay. And maybe, I don't know, white gives it up.
Yes.
Right, and then eats that stone. Okay. So this is pretty. This is silly for white. Is that it?
Yeah, this is pretty good for black.
Okay. I'm just testing
Right.
to
Yes.
see how you handle the type of.
how
This
I-
is the type of play that if you play as a single-digit queue online, this type of thing will happen every single game. Every single, like 90% of the time, they don't play the like safe pro one space jump. They play like the peep at your elephant eye, push and cut. You know. Okay.
So, yeah, I just don't think about this kind of move because oftentimes it's very bad.
Right. Because your opponents don't play it because they're strong also, and they see how silly these sequences get. But this is what I call like Go player defense against the dark arts. Like if you want to rank up as a single digit Q, you have to be able to fight off this kind of silly aggression.
You have to be able to defend yourself.
Yes, against silly overplays where like the defense against that overplay is not as obvious as the overplay itself. Right? Yeah. Anyway, we can go back to the main.
Right. So I just wanted to mention that oftentimes white would like retreat something like that. Yeah. And then now this cutting point is more visible. So you can play something like this. Sure. But then this is also threatening this wedge. So that will force white to exchange this. And at this point, white will need to kind of run away to the center since this group, from the lower side group is weak. And then black can kind of follow. It's complicated, but it's perfectly okay for black.
Nobody has a clear advantage. It's just a fight, a fighting game. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think actually your point that white might come in here, I think that's a good point. That's a valid move.
Okay.
So black could jump out, or I think black could also consider maybe.
Really? Would you? So are you basically giving up? Oh, you're not giving up that stone.
Yeah. But then white would also do that.
Ugh.
So something like this, I'm not so sure. Maybe this knight's move is too weak. So that's another, possible situation, which is complicated.
Yeah, that looks scary for black.
Black can also consider this. This is also common move when your opponent invades like this. And maybe like that.
What if, wait, sorry, go back there. What if white jumps all the way to Q6?
What's the ladder situation? If black plays here, is that ladder?
It looks like white has the ladder on that. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah, white has the ladder. So that means black cannot cut this way.
Oh. By the way, is this a place where you can use that cool ladder trick where you pretend that the star point is Tengen?
Yes.
Yeah. Should we maybe explain that for people? Because when
do
you told
like
me this,
that trick? Yes.
it like my head exploded when you told me this.
Ah, okay. So maybe explain.
Yeah. So like we're trying to read this ladder from that black stone at P6 to the upper left, right? And naively you might think you have to trace the stair steps all the way across the board.
Yes.
But there's this trick that you told me that strong players use where for these sorts of diagonal ladders, you can imagine, take those stones, the 3 stones in the upper left, and imagine sliding that star point down to Tengen.
Yeah, actually, I have a cool thing I can do.
You can do that? Yeah.
So these 2 white stones are as if they are here.
Exactly, yes. And that black stone is 2 spaces below.
Yes, and then these are the black stones.
Yeah, so see, it's way easier to mentally read that than to continue all the way to the corner.
That's true, yes.
Okay, great. Well, now the secret's out and all my opponents can use this.
If they watch this video.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that was a good point.
I'd never seen that talked about before in English-speaking Go circles. Okay.
I see. Yeah, that's a common knowledge in Korea.
Yes, they probably tell you that in kindergarten.
Yes, because Go is so mandatory, right? In kindergarten.
Yeah.
So maybe black can fight like this.
Okay. Shall we get back to the main game?
Yes.
Let's go all the way back to that 2 space.
Yeah, anyway, I think the conclusion was that this white invasion it's a good concern.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's playable.
Okay. So things are not silly yet. Okay.
Right. So let's see the actual
Right.
game.
And then we get the attach.
Mm-hmm.
Another favorite move of your dad in handicap games.
Yeah.
This follows the sequence. I looked up this sequence on Josekipedia.
Mm-hmm.
So the next like 15, 20 moves are
Joseki.
Well,
Have you also considered blocking the corner instead of the side?
Yeah.
You didn't like that option?
You know that this was so long ago. I'm not sure what my thinking was there.
Yeah, I mean, not that it was important to block the corner. This was just another option.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been that I thought I could make more points by blocking and making territory on the right side, like lower right side.
Okay.
Given that I have that star point stone on Q10.
Okay, so that was that.
Right.
And white plays here, which is good move. It's limiting black's potential on the right side.
Right.
And you invaded the upper side.
Yeah.
But this invasion direction was not correct. How would you invade if you play it again?
Okay, thinking of a different space to invade.
Just a different spot.
Thinking. So here's some ideas. Something like H17.
Yes. Yeah, that's better.
Or maybe even attaching to that at K17 or going one under K18.
No. K17 no good. K18 is also no good.
Okay. So, but I'm concerned. All right. So let's say I play here. I assume white is gonna deny me a base. Either maybe kicking. We can look at both of these. Like one could be here, right?
Yes, and you jump out.
Okay. I haven't thought through this sequence very much, but I'm just thinking.
Yeah, so the nice thing about starting at H17 is that you have this knight move to K18.
I see.
And it gives you nice eye space.
Yeah, wow. Wow, very cool. Okay.
Right. Another thing is that when you start from this H line, as you mentioned, white will be following you on F line instead of if you come in on the F line, usually white would come out here. So white's moves will be on E line, and the white stones on E line is more threatening to your left side on like C14 stone. So that's why people often start on H17.
Interesting. And then what if this happens?
Extend.
Okay. And I mean, I'm just hypothetically thinking something like this. And now, I guess, do I continue jumping?
Yes.
Okay. And I assume white will want to split these.
Right, yes. Yeah, you can do that.
And then here, what do you think of this? This looks scary for me.
I think that looks good.
Oh, okay.
It looks good for black.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, no reason to be scared. Black has good shape.
But then if white, let's say white eats, where would white play?
Yeah, so white does have C12 invasion, but white did have the invasion like for some time. It's nothing new.
Right. But does that kill C14 and make a big bunch of points in the upper left?
Well, yeah, I think that's very likely.
Because if I give up C14, that's a lot of points for white.
You could also try to save C14, but then you would lose a lot on the left side.
And I'd also have two weak groups there.
So probably you want to just let white take it.
Wow. Okay.
But then, yeah, this is big. Also, you did have an option to play around here if that was like a big concern.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even here.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's also okay to maybe let white take it and then you take another big place
Sure.
like this one.
Right. I guess banking on the fact that this is a handicap game and I start with a point advantage, sort of.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I think your dad is very, very good at it's coming in just before I lock down a territory. And eating all the points, like right now, maybe playing at C3 or something, like just when I think I've got the game under control,
Yes.
and the territories are mostly locked down, he has these like nasty reduction invasion type moves that I what started out as 5 stones and 15 points end up being like 15 stones and 2 points.
Yeah. Okay. So
All
just since you mentioned the C3,
Yeah.
I just want to say that this would be an overplay right now.
Right.
Because you can just let white live in the corner. Like,
okay.
do just something very simple.
Okay.
But then you see these white 3 stones,
Oh, we
they
can
are
come
like
in and-
really weak.
Wow, we can come in and hurt those. Interesting.
Yeah. So for example, let's say white tries to connect,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can connect this one stone under,
Mm-hmm.
and white cannot capture this one stone because there's no ladder or no net.
Wow, cool. Very cool.
So basically, black having this stone on E2 point makes the white grow really weak.
I see. What about just hypothetically here,
Yes.
this type of sequence?
So maybe let's not do this
Not
because
do
it's
that.
not a good shape.
Okay. Push that way?
Better like this.
Okay. So we're still keeping those 2 white parts separated.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Nice. Could we go back also to this corner situation here? Because this is extremely common.
Okay.
It would take a long time to list out all the alternatives
That's true.
here.
Yes.
But there's the rules of thumb, right? Like if black has this formation where you start with a knight's move and then kick the approach.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but so you showed a sequence where white is guaranteed life, and then I forget who gets sente out of that. Is it a black?
black.
Black gets sente. So you can give up the corner and get sente.
Yes.
Isn't there a way? Well, also I know you can do that. This is a very meek response, right?
Yes. And then usually you want D3. Sometimes you do D2 too, but that's considered better in many cases.
Right. Okay. So that's again guaranteed damage.
Yes.
Gote. Is there a co sequence? Or is that more when when Blackstone is like D6 instead of C6?
So let's say it's more risky, but if you don't exchange the C4, then the shape itself is cool,
Okay.
like this.
Okay. I see.
But then here, in this black shape, there is some weakness.
So I guess it depends on what else is going on in the game. That black has a way to force. Sorry, the black has a way to force a ko. So if black knows that black can win this ko, then that invasion is sort of an overplay.
Yeah, I just realized that actually white can live like this, sorry.
Okay.
So when white comes in the corner, the rule of thumb is that it's very difficult to kill it
Yes.
So either you let it live in a small space, or you kind of take the damage, like blocking here.
Right.
But then sometimes you can let white live, but then that gives you stronger outside.
Stronger outside,
which
like we
is-
showed against
yes,
those tunes.
Right.
Is there ever? I'm just wondering. One thing I see Crazy Stone do a lot is to take this Hane very early,
Ah, yes.
and then I guess white does white need to fix here?
Usually, yes.
Usually, yeah. At this point, is there any more
there's
danger?
nothing.
Okay. So this might be why Crazy Stone
Sure.
likes that.
It's very big, yeah, right?
It's big, but it's Gote.
Yeah.
Well, depending if white
depends.
fixes.
Yeah, it's more that white shape is very strong after these exchanges.
Ah, okay. So white's definitely going to live now with that.
Right, because
Group.
without these exchanges, maybe black could also do something like this.
Yeah. Although, wait, does that work if my stone is at N3 and not M3?
I think so.
Because I've seen this pattern before where you connect under.
Yeah, it's more common when black stone is on M3, but I think it still works in this situation.
Okay. And is it that white can't do this because of a cross cut?
Maybe J3, to be very clear, yes.
Okay. I see. If white plays here, it's gonna be fine. And let me again complete
Yes.
complete overplay online
Yes.
person.
Sure.
I see. And now is it this? Is it the? Okay. Then we just do this, and we're fine.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Because sometimes I regret, like, I see this pattern here, and I'm like, I wish my N3 was at M3, because then I have these cool invasion patterns. I didn't realize that it still worked even if you're one
I see.
line further away.
This might work as well in this situation.
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
Wait, that's complicated. But maybe.
But at least
this.
there's something something there. It's not just gonna die
Yes.
fruitlessly.
This seems very bad for white.
Right. The B2 bomber.
Yes. Yes.
All right, maybe let's go back to the game.
Yes. Let's go back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and oops, right. So white played there.
Yes.
That surprised me.
Maybe it's because it's a handicap game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm
that's
wondering
cool.
why I didn't make a 2-space base there.
White is trying to make the game more complicated.
Yes.
And tenuking the D11 is very surprising.
Yeah, so this I wouldn't do this in a even game.
Okay.
My thinking is that white needs to make some overplays and get away with them in order to win.
Yes.
And I'm thinking this F15 stone is very strange. Like it's kind of it looks too far out to me.
Yes.
And like I'm like, sure, even if white gets another stone on the left side around that D10, I'm hoping that I can cut off and kill or chase something of white's without taking too much damage.
I see. But something you should know is that it will be not easy to cut this stone off these two.
Yeah.
And even if you succeed, you might get damage around here.
So let me just see. So if I do respond to the attachment, this would be my intuition.
Okay.
And then I'm imagining white. Yeah, exactly. Like white playing there, and
Yes.
now I'm scared.
Okay, that makes sense. I think maybe you want to just extend.
Okay. I see. But and then what happens here? Like, can I get?
I think you can cut here.
Huh. Although, what if white gives up?
Oh, that would be really good for black.
Okay.
Yeah, you get Sente, and that's nice gain.
Oh, I see. Now, even though white gets a bunch of points in the upper left, my lower left now. Well, actually, though. Wait a minute. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I get Sente. Okay. So wait. Let's say we play. We go down here, and then like I take a big point, or something. Or I don't know. I guess maybe I need to deal with the two stones, the two weak stones here.
Yes. Maybe
But
let's do this.
Okay. I guess I have my pessimistic evaluation of like, let's say white is going to get some stuff here and then jump in here.
Well, I thought we said that this was overplay because of these 3 stones.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, even, I don't know. Like, I'm just counting points here. Because I know, like,
Yes.
all right, like white's upper left is a bunch of solid points. Upper center has a couple points. Lower right is like done. That group has a bunch of points. And I'm counting myself and realizing that I haven't locked these down, right? Because there's stuff that can happen, right? Like eventually there could be this. And I'm counting and I'm like, you know, also part of this is the history. I know I've been playing your dad a lot, and he kind, you know, he's great at reducing my territories with these sorts of moves. So I'm feeling I'm struggling here with like, is this enough?
But that's not because of the result of the left side, because the left side result is good for black.
Okay, so it's like if I'm struggling, it's because of stuff I did earlier. It's not due to, okay.
Yeah. Or maybe the stuff you're struggling is not a real thing.
Oh, right. Yeah, it could be just phantoms in my head.
It can be also psychological
exactly.
thing.
Okay. All right. Maybe let's get back to the game.
Yes.
Because there's sort of a fight kind of happens.
Okay. You cross cut.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
No, that's good.
Okay. Okay, this is again just like I think there's some overplays going on, and I'm just of the feeling that like white can't keep everything that white is trying to keep.
So up to now, like white reduced your left side territory.
I think I incorrectly believe I'm going to eat the F15 stone.
You might, but then eating the stone will give you only a few points. So compared to the variation where you get the 2 stones and white gets the 1 stone, I think this one is not as good as the other one for black.
Okay.
And maybe white could have just taken this. I think white's attachment looks kind of overplay.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, it seems like white tried too hard.
Okay.
So I wouldn't recommend all these.
Okay.
That was good move.
Oh, which one?
L17.
Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm worried about that group dying, so...
No, that was wonderful. I'm very impressed with this move.
Thank you.
So your plan was to do like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good move.
Okay, good.
So...
And all throughout this, I'm watching those black stones on the left center because they don't have 2 eyes. And white, like, white has some very threatening things. Like, if at any time white takes with D9, I have to...
Nope.
Oh, is it?
Because white E13 is in Atari. You don't need to worry
for
about
now.
it.
Yeah, you'll see.
Yes.
I think he connects that later, but we'll...
Oh, okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think white's trying to cut here around from G13 was a bad idea. and it's making white shape very thin and without gaining much.
Right, okay.
And also with black L17, white lost the territory on the like right upper
right
side. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that H18 is so annoying.
And it didn't work. Your response was correct.
Well, right, but annoying. You'll see later that it affects the end game a lot. Like,
but
as we play out end game points, like the fact that there's a white stone there, like super hurts my end game ability.
No. It doesn't super hurt.
No? Really?
It just gives white the center move on E18.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
But then you got the K17 for free. So actually, that's not bad at all.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I think you could maybe... No, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's good. Because white could save this one stone by playing on L16 before.
Right.
But now white can't do that. But instead, white gets E18 in Sente.
Okay. Yeah, which is a lot of points because it stops the monkey jump.
Oh, this band was not Sente. You can Tanuki.
Ah, okay.
Even this one.
Oh,
also,
wow.
You can Tanuki.
Wow. So, I got
But
Gote there.
up to now, this result is super good for black. Can you tell?
Yeah, okay, because... So what used... black has a solid group in the top center now of points.
Yeah, with a big territory.
Yeah.
Like, how many points does black have?
Like 20 or so?
Yeah, almost 20 points.
Right.
And white lost everything.
Mm.
White doesn't have any points.
Okay.
And then white's corner is small, and in the center, white has these two stones kind of weak still. So it will be difficult for white to attack the black's left group.
Right. Okay.
So white invaded here.
Yeah, I can tell what white's trying to do here.
White is trying to recover.
Well,
from the loss.
white's trying to build in the center. So like my in an even game, I'd probably play here.
Yes.
And my concern is that white is going to find a way to like turn this center into a bunch of points and reduce my right hand side.
Okay.
Maybe again, and maybe it's phantoms in my head. But this is like playing very slow as like like I'm giving up a bit on the side to try to not and then
But
I
that
do take
was
that.
good.
Okay, good. All right. And then this cut.
That card is scary, right? So you just gave up that one stone?
Right.
Yes. Okay, and then you gave up this stone too?
Yeah, I think this came from counting and realizing that like I shouldn't struggle too hard to try to save these, because even if white makes those points in the middle,
right,
that I'm ahead.
Yeah, you are also building some points on the lower side, like lower center.
Well, I was until white. You'll see. You'll see what happens.
But that was a really good decision. I mean, maybe if it was like a really close game, you could try to save the blackstone on P11. But since you could win just by pushing from P9, this was really good judgment on your side.
Okay. Yeah, that's that.
So white tried to reduce. Okay. This one, it's better to Hane, I think.
Ah, I see.
And that's even Sente.
I see. Interesting.
Yes. Because this one is not Sente.
Okay.
Okay. Oh wow, so white's now trying to reduce your corner. Okay, yeah, you responded well. Okay, so I would say the game is pretty much over at this point. There are only like some end games
There's a lot
left.
of end game. Okay.
But then like you'd have no weak group, and my intuition says you have a lot more points.
Yeah, it ended up being a 5.5 point win for black. So you're right. There's a bunch of endgame getting played out. I was a little bit worried this black string of stones in the center right of the board. There was a little bit of danger later with the possibility of white cutting something.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can look.
Yeah. And I'm also trying to weigh, should I even, I think I can have some serious threats against the bottom center white group.
Oh, you did a good endgame.
Yeah, at this point, like, remember, this is a, what do you call it? A correspondence game. And so I'm reading out the end game and counting points.
Yes. Just one thing, maybe it was better to do the end game from this side, and there's this cut on R12, so white
cool.
needs to connect, and then you just descend, and that gives you just nice end game.
Is there any trickiness with white cutting around 08 Q9?
So before black played this S11 and S10, there was the cut. Right now, you can Atari from this side, and there's nothing white can do.
Okay.
But let's say there were no black stones around there.
Right.
Then you needed to respond differently. So let's say white cuts here.
Yeah.
You can't do that because then white can get this too.
Yeah.
So at this point, you need to Atari from this other side.
Right, okay.
But this group from the left side, it should be okay. Do you know that this is also Sente?
Not quite sure. You mean in the sense that what happens, like, let's say, I'm trying to see what the follow-up is.
Yes. Good start.
And then I see white can't play on Tenkin because black eats it there.
Yes.
Is that it?
No.
Wait. Oh. Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh, scary. Okay.
Nice fun.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. Okay. So you don't need to worry about the center group.
Okay. Not yet. You'll there's a little bit, but
okay.
I managed to handle it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just end game now.
It's better to connect this way.
Ah, okay.
So that you don't give white Sente F19 end game.
I see. Okay.
Right? So it can become like this
I see.
compared to this.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It somehow doesn't want to. Oh, okay.
It just takes a little while to catch up.
Oh, okay. I
And
see.
you can just use the arrow keys.
Got it.
Yeah, this is just end game.
So was there something in the end game?
Maybe it was more like just the sequence. The sequences in the lower right here needed a
Yes.
lot of reading just to make sure I didn't get cut off. Or also there's like huge reductions like O2 for white,
O2?
right? Doesn't that?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it huge reduction. There is that end game, yes.
But I mean the balance of points is such that like I'm counting all this stuff, figuring out the end game and whether or not I can make like a couple of points down in that little box in the lower center. Because that's the difference between victory and loss in this game is that about that many points. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Anyway, so that was it, and then there was no strange thing happening in the end, right?
Right, right.
Okay. So I would say you handled really well when white started cutting you off on G13, and that was not a good decision on white's side. And also when white was like cutting you on P10, it was really good decision to give that up Blackstone on P11.
Okay.
Yes.
But then weakness wise, it's sort of opening formation Fuseki type stuff where I was losing ground, like playing on the side here.
Maybe yes, more
smallish.
Yes.
And then also this invasion, kind of picking the wrong point for the invasion.
Yes.
And then not responding to that attachment.
Right. Yeah, that was a big one.
I see. Okay. Yeah, it's always interesting to look at these in an AI analysis tool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for handicap games, they're not as helpful because they'll look at a board like this and be like, oh, white passed twice, so game over, black wins. Like this win rate was like 99.9% black, right? But you'll see sort of this slow decay where the very strong player is just making move by move by move, very, very solid, and the weaker player, me in this case, I'm just giving up a little bit on each move, but it's enough after many, many moves where it becomes a kind of an even fight.
Right.
And that might be like, I don't know where the win rate hit 50%, but it might have been somewhere around this sequence when things started getting really, really dangerous.
Yes, good point. So anyway, that was the game for today. Yeah, so we can wrap it up here.
Sure. And maybe comment on what type of games you'd like to see, like more handicap games or more even single-digit Q games, because I've got plenty of all of those.
Okay. Or we can even see like other people's games too.
That's true, yeah.
Yes. So that's it for today, and we will see you again in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.